Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of my Devlog series. This will also be part gameplay, part demo. I do apologize for not sticking to what I said in the very first video of uploading a video every Monday. The problem was that for the past few weeks, every week it was just small incremental things that I did, and the video was not going to be substantial. So now I'm going to show everything that's been done in the past week, and also what a basic game loop would be like in the game right now. First, I will talk about the drones. In the game right now there are about six drones, and about 5 of they fall under different categories. The first 5 are the ones you'll be using that you will not be able to craft. You'll have to go out in the world and hack them, and that's how you obtain them. And then the others are ones that you build. So firstly, there's the hauler drone. I don't have a model for him yet, and also he's not fully coded yet. I just put this here as a reminder to talk about him. What the hauler drone does is he carries items from place to place. So let's say a printing machine needs resources, it will send out a request to one of the haulers to bring resources to it. Then we have the harvester drone. Harvester drone, as it says, it will just go out, gather resources, and then take them to the closest storage chest. This is a miner drone. Miner drones are placed on resource deposits. They act differently from harvester drones. As harvester drones go out and collect, miner drones remain stationary, and they have different uses from harvester drones. I've made a video about them and how they interact with the conveyor system that might be put in the game, that might not, because it's quite performance heavy. It doesn't really, once you put it in, the frame rate drops. Anyways, moving on, this is the builder drone. They simply just build items that you place. Crafter drones craft items. They basically assist other machines that are crafting. I'll demo that quickly. This is a foundation bot. It's one of the first utility bots. Utility drones are drones that you can build in the game. You don't have to go out in the world to hack them. This is a foundation drone. You place items on top of them. So if I open up my crafting menu, and then I want to demo the refinery, and then print it. Right. So I'm going to place the refinery on top of the foundation drone. So what happens now? It has this outline that shows it needs to be built. So there are 2 ways right now which they can be built. The builder drone can come and build this for me, or I can use my toolbot. Toolbots is also something I've covered. Toolbots is basically assistant to the player. They help with hacking drones. They help with gathering resources. They will have a lot of uses in the future. So right now I'm going to use the toolbot to build this. So the toolbot, you just select it on the keyboard, you select T, and then you just click on item, and then the toolbot will come. Alright, so this refinery has been built on top of the foundation drone. The foundation drone can be moved around. I will demo that on that side. So let's say I open up my refinery, and then I start printing a whole lot of copper plates, for example. Right now it's giving me a message to say that it doesn't have power. I'll also demo that in a little bit. So let's say I print a lot of okay, it's not going to build. Let me just quickly get power system up and running. Okay, I will also use this as an opportunity to demonstrate the builder drone, and also the helper messages that I've coded into the game. So if I go to the builder, I then access the drone menu using E. So this is the drone menu. Right, so over here it's like an overview where you manage all your drones. Right now this drone is highlighted. When you select a drone, it will automatically highlight itself in the hierarchy. Right, so the builder drone, and then all the options for the builder drone will be displayed over here. So right now all you can do is build items. You'll be able to rename it. Right now the renaming is a bit iffy because I have a lot of keys coded as shortcuts. So when you press a key, that function runs. So this will be in later. So I'm going to select this drone to build items. So it will search for items that need to be built and then go over and then build them. Alright, there's no effect on those drones right now, but it will come later. Right, so it goes about building. So after demoing the game, after a friend of mine played the game, I noticed that when starting out, because I play the game every day, I knew all the ins and outs. But when he played, there wasn't a lot of messages to tell him why things aren't working. So I've coded that in. So when you highlight over this, right, the shortcut keys appear, and this thing is telling me that the foundation that it's on is not deployed. So let me just quickly demonstrate the deploying. So if you select a drone, the foundation drone, you get all the options available for the foundation drone. Right, so these two, the top two are with all of them. They all can remain idle and they all can follow the player, and then any option below that is unique to whichever drone is selected. So here we have two options, deploy and deploy now. Deploy now will deploy the drone wherever it is, and then whatever item is placed on top of it will work. Deploy is like custom, so then this arrow appears so that you can select where you want the drone to deploy. Right, as soon as it's deployed, it will also then access the electric grid. So because this foundation is deployed, this battery bank will connect to the electric grid, and if there is a generator on the grid, it will start charging from that generator. So here is a generator. Let me just deploy this. Right, so the generator will start generating power once it has resources inside of it. So when you hover over items, the shortcuts that appear are context sensitive. So for example, a drone will have more options available when you hover over it than an item. Right, so this item, right now there are only two shortcuts coded, which is the access the item options and then access the item storage. Those others are just there. They still need to be coded. So right now when I press E, I access the printing facility of this refinery. If I press F, I access the storage of the refinery. So let's just press E. When you press E, when you access the printing facility of the refinery will go through the player inventory to search for let's say it needs wood to print biofuel. It won't search in the refinery storage, it will search in the player storage. Where was I going with this? Right, so when I access the generator, when you access the generator, they both go to storage because that's all that the generator has right now. There's no tuning for the generator at the moment. So you access the generator, and then it has these 4 slots for resources. Right, so now I'm going to transfer biofuel. You just have to search for it, right? Or it can take wood or anything like that. So I'm going to transfer half of that, so then it will detect that there is biofuel inside, and it should consume one of them and then start charging. Yes, so as it's charging, this inner glow will go from red to green. So when it's green, it's running optimally, and then when it's red, there are too many things taking power from it. Right now, the only things that can take power from generators are power banks. Power banks store electricity, and then all items on the grid use power from the banks directly and not from the generator. The generator are there to charge the banks. The banks are there to provide electricity to the items that need them. So over here we have the battery bank. Let me just deploy this. Let's see. Right, so this one, now that it's deployed, it's refreshed the electric grid system, and now it will start charging, and then this glow will fill up as it fills. Right, so as the refinery detected that there's power in the system, it will start refining the copper plates. Right, so I'm just going to queue a few copper plates to demonstrate the crafter. Right, so this has 200 and something iron plates queued. So now I'm going to go to the crafter, and then I'm going to tell the crafter to help craft items. Right now the crafter just goes to the closest item that's printing, and it will help that item craft whatever it's crafting. If we go to the harvester, for example, the harvester has more options built in. Right, so when you tell the harvester to harvest resources, you can tell it which resources to harvest. I felt this was important for the harvester because you might need some of these later materials and not need a lot of wood. So that is in the game. Right, so if I tell this guy to start crafting items, it will find. So if you can look, if you see the speed is increased because it's receiving assistance from this crafter. What else? So yeah, that's so I've already showed the demo grid, the electric grid system, and then also if I add more of these refineries, these will start draining faster. Okay, move on to vehicles. Right now there are about 6 vehicles in the game. I have 4 of them here. The vehicles, the scripts behind the vehicles are from a package called Random Nation Vehicles Physics. It's a really good physics system for vehicles. I've had to adjust the scripts for the vehicles to run off of fuel and a few other adjustments. What I found though is that the vehicle physics from the Random Nation, it's not really all that performance. So once you have like 10 cars in the game and they are just idle standing, they do consume a lot of power just to stand around. So I will be making a garage system in which when you park the vehicles, all scripts on the vehicles get switched off so that the vehicles, once the player is not in them, they don't take any processing power. Right now these 4 vehicles, they are consuming a lot of processor just to stand here because of the shocks you can see. Right, so just to interact with the world. So I will be adjusting that. Right, so we have the hover tank. So when any item in the world can be interacted with in a few ways. There's the shortcut menu when you hover over them. There's the drone. In the future when they are damaged, if you just click on them, the toolbot will repair them. And then there is the advanced menu. Right, so when you hover over them and you hold down E, right now the advanced menu will appear. This was supposed to be what do you call it? This was supposed to be those circle menus like in Ark and in Conan, but I found that to expand upon those, it's more iffy. So I went with this cube option. So the primary options will drop down here like refuel, repair, etc. And then when you hover over them, their options will then expand. So refuel might have refuel with biofuel, refuel with petrol, or any other fuel that I add into the game. So right now if I enter the vehicle, nothing will happen because the fuel, it doesn't have any fuel. Right, so if I exit the vehicle and I then refuel it with biofuel, right, the vehicle will turn on. It will tell me that 100 biofuel supplied it with 10% of the fuel. So the driving, I'm not really gonna demo the driving because it's solid. The vehicle physics from the package that I got. Right, this is a variation. The hover tank is a variation of the wheeled vehicle. Right, so this one as well will not move until I refuel it. Right, and then the sounds are from a package called Universal Sound Effects. Where am I? We have the hover bike. Right, this is one of the early game vehicles that the player will be able to craft. Right, it takes as you can tell from the other vehicles, these vehicles, the 100 biofuel only filled it up 10% of its tank's capacity, whereas the hover bike was filled to maximum capacity. What else do I want to show off? When you hover over any item, on the right will be like a stats menu, giving you critical information of that item. Right, so here we can have the fuel, the top speed. So from a distance you'll be able to tell things about items. So this drone, if I hover over that, right, so it's a bit iffy right now, but over there you can see that the drone, the name, the level, what state it's in, the speed, and then other things that are not in yet, like the fuel, the oil, the battery is in, how much storage space it has, all those things. Right, so here's the monster truck. You just refuel that. Right, it still has some work to be done on it. Right, this is a larger version of the foundation, of the small foundation drone. So the item that you use to build vehicles, which is this, let's just get that in there, won't go onto one of these. Oh yeah, also while placing an item, this message will pop up telling you that items can only be placed on utility drones at the moment. So this is quite large. So if I place six can go on any, the generator can go on anything, any utility drone to its size and larger, right? But then the vehicle bay can only go, yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. So if I place this here, the crafter will come and craft. Right, I wanted to demonstrate that if I wanted to demonstrate the deploying versus the non-deploying. That's why there are two of these here. Right, so this drone came and it built. So right now this facility prints vehicles. It won't print right now because of the power, and yeah, it's just the power. These things are in orange. What it needs, it will tell you it takes 5 components and you have 0. Right, and then once the requirements have been met, this print button will turn on. So right now, because the developer mode is on, it will print. It will allow me to press print, but it won't print because the developer mode doesn't bypass power needs. Right, so when you print a vehicle, so when you print a vehicle, so fast, it appears over there. Right, it appears with it spawns without any fuel, so it has to be refueled when you spawn it. The vehicle bay right now, you get it at about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours into the game. That's when you get the vehicle bay. What else I want to talk about? Right, the world is gated off at the moment. Right, these walls you can't walk past them at the moment, but that side of the screen, let me just run there quickly let me just demonstrate the playable area. Right, I'll use this vehicle. Right, Right over here I've marked the end of the playable level, because I plan to have this a playable pre-alpha out on GameJolt in the next 2 weeks. Right, so I've just gated off this area, and then I've placed all the resources. Everything that you'll need to test out the game is in the beginning parts of this area. This area also has walls right around it. Right, so if I go over here, this is supposed to be like the crystal area, where you get a lot of crystal. Right, and then so over there, this gate behind this this wall over here is where we started, and then this is just an extra area that you can, in the beginning, in the pre-alpha, that you can go and explore. This is also a wall that I've cut off. Right, so the art style that you see here, the low poly look, is the one I'll be going for. Right, everything in the game will have this low poly look and this low poly feel to it. I like this terrain. This terrain is performant, and it's from a package called Polyworld. What Polyworld allows me to do is it takes the Unity terrain. So I create the terrain in Unity using the Unity terrain. I then convert it to game objects around, depending on my settings. Right, I've set it right now to split the terrain into 1,000 small blocks, and then those small blocks are easier for the computer to how can I say, for performance reasons. The 1,000 blocks, those behind this, they are hidden with ambient occlusion, and they have LODs on them. I know the Unity terrain also has LODs, but this also allows me to get that flat look that I want, because the Unity terrain is quite smooth. I wanted that flat look for my game. Right, so wherever you are in the world, the drones are connected to grids. So whichever grid, the wild drones, the AI drones in the wild, are connected to grids. So whichever grid the player is in, those drones in that area will spawn. And then once you leave an area, all drones in that area will despawn. Right, so I just want to demonstrate the guns quickly in the starting area. Right, so let's say you're in the starting area, and then about an hour into the game, you can start. You have the resources to craft the 3 weapons that you need, the 2 weapons that you need. So the first is the resource gun. So I have demoed this in the past. So the resource gun, you just shoot resources, and then that's how you collect them. This is in addition to the toolbot. So let's say you send out the toolbot to get the resource over there, and then you are collecting wood over here. Right. The toolbot will have an upgrade menu in future use. Let me just show that. So if you go to player, and then there will also be a skills and blueprints menu, like items that you unlock. It's really not in the game. It's really far right now. And then the toolbots. Right now you only have one toolbot. So when you click, the one toolbot goes out. So in future updates, you might have 3 toolbots. So if you click here, the first one goes. Click there, the second one goes. Right now, clicking despawns the one that's on the screen. So where was I? I was going to toolbots. So yes, over here, the toolbot, all the menus have this dark background, but the toolbot doesn't, because over here, the toolbot that you have selected will appear here, a model of it, and then you can customize it and upgrade the toolbot stats over here. Right now it's not in the game yet. This is just giving me an idea of the layout that I want to achieve. Alright, then we have the gun. The gun is for later in the game when there'll be combat. Right now there's 0 combat in the game. I feel that combat will add a lot of complexity to the game. Like the player doesn't have health and stats, so when I add the combat, I'll have to add that, and it's just, I want to focus on this right now. So this is the gun. The gun does, the red bar it does just damage to the drones. And then there is the hack gun. So what the hack gun does, on top of the let me go to this guy rather. On top of a drone, there's two bars. The orange bar is the firewall, and then the red bar is the health. So once you get the firewall down to less than 10%, the drone will go into a state in which it can be hacked. So let's just do that quickly. Let's harvest the drone. So if I start shooting it, alright, message pops up to say the harvest drone can be hacked. The firewall will start regenerating. When it gets to above 90, it will go out of the state in which it can be hacked. So the only way to hack a drone right now is to use your toolbot. Right, so I select this instant. So this harvester has now been hacked, and it's been added to my drones. Right, because the game really revolves around drones, the interaction with the drones really receive a lot of attention. So when selecting a drone, over here you have the menu. Here you have the sort buttons, so you can sort the drones by how far they are from you. Right, so right now this one is 2 unity meters away, and where was I? And then all these buttons work. And then you have the all and the active. So let's say you have idle drones standing by. If you click on active, the idle drones won't appear. That's not working at the moment. And then here is the categories of the drones. So let's say you only want to see builders. It will hide all other drones and only show type builders. Right now this harvester is showing this system is a bit buggy, but it will work soon. Alright. Put it back to all. This is the level. So when you only want to see drones of a certain level, these sliders will help you to isolate. Like if you want to go out and only have powerful drones following you, you can do that. The drone level was supposed to have a drop down. This is not going to be here. This is how you select the drone. This is going to be how you select the drone levels. The drone based on levels. What else would I like to show? I think I've shown most of it. Right, I will also be creating just a video, just a quick startup demo video with the game when I release the pre-alpha on GameJolt, just so that anybody that plays it, that has been watching the devlogs, will be able to play the game with ease.